If I should ask you who the first woman to be created in the Bible was, your answer would be Eve, right? But guess what? There's another story that suggests there might have been another lady before Eve. I'm talking about Adam's first wife, Lilith. Of course she was mentioned in the Bible. But who was she? Why didn't the Bible say much about her? And why was her name erased from history? These are the mysteries we will unravel today. So sit tight and grab a cool drink, because what you're about to discover will blow your mind. It's quite fascinating to think that the supposed first woman in history, Lilith, should have a big role in our history books. But no, her existence has been more like a missing puzzle piece, leaving us to wonder if she was real or just a wild imagination. Well, in this video, we're diving deep into the mysteries surrounding this intriguing character. So make sure you have your eyes glued to the end so you don't miss a thing. We'll dig right into what she might have done that led to her being left out of the history books. Remember Genesis 2, which says God made man from the earth's dust, and then he breathed into his nostrils and made him a living soul. Then God planted a garden in the east of Eden and put the man there. But then God realized that the man needed a companion in the garden, and there wasn't one. Now here's the question. God had made all the other creatures in pairs, male and female, without thinking twice. So why did he make man alone in the first instance? Moreover, if you study Genesis 1 closely, you'll observe that God had finished creation and rested before thinking of creating Eve. Something must be missing in between. Well, that's where Jewish mythology comes in, with its juicy story about Lilith. Lilith was a truly remarkable figure who dared to challenge the entire system, forging her own path and taking charge of her own destiny. Many people regard her as an emblem of women's empowerment, like a representative figure in the ongoing battle against male dominance. Now, Lilith's reputation has gone through a wild roller coaster of interpretations. She's been called everything from a demon to a feminist icon. People have linked her to rebellion, seduction, temptation, and all sorts of dark stuff. But hold on, who was Lilith really, and how did she become so notorious? Well, according to Jewish folklore, she was indeed Adam's first wife. She was made from the soil alongside Adam initially, but she wasn't thrilled about playing second fiddle to a man, so she rebelled and left Adam alone. Though you won't find that account in your Bible. But do you know that the prophet Isaiah made mention of her in the Old Testament? Check Isaiah 34:14 AMP. The creatures of the desert will encounter jackals, and the hairy goat will call to its kind. Indeed, Lilith, night demon, will settle there and find herself a place of rest. Hold on a second. Did she eventually become a demon? Keep watching, you'll find out shortly. By now you should know that God never tolerates anyone who raises him or herself against him. It doesn't cost him anything to destroy such. The tale of Lilith is a puzzle wrapped in a mystery, and scholars can't quite agree on where it all began. The roots of her story, though, stretch way back to ancient Mesopotamia and Babylon, where they saw her as a wind and storm demon. According to ancient Babylonian records, it was said that initially Lilith wasn't all bad. She was referenced for her good deeds and considered a goddess of fertility. But all of a sudden, the narration changed. Lilith is now pictured as a bad influence on kids and women. She got a reputation for lustful desire, independence, and challenging male authority. But here's the kicker. Can we really stick the demon label on her, or is there more to her story than meets the eye? Well, folks, that's what we're here to uncover, so buckle up. Well, Bible scholars and theologians were digging deep into old biblical archives and records to unravel mysteries about Lilith. They stumbled onto a medieval text called the Alphabet of Ben Sira, written in the 9th or 10th century, that shockingly revealed a lot about her. According to the Alphabet of Ben Sira, Lilith was Adam's first spouse. God whipped her up from the same dust as Adam, so she figured they should be equals. She spoke up about it but got the cold shoulder, so she got annoyed, went to the extreme, cursed God, and flew away. Lilith didn't just take a vacation though. She went to the Red Sea. This is the same Red Sea where Pharaoh and his army drowned in their attempt to harm God's chosen people. Lilith didn't stay quiet in the Red Sea. She got involved with demons and gave birth to demon children. Adam wasn't happy about everything, so he prayed and pleaded with God. He told God that the woman he gave him had run away. God in His sovereignty sent 3 angels to bring Lilith back, but she refused. Lilith wasn't ready to be dominated by any man, so she stuck to her quest for freedom. In fact, around 2400 BC, tales were circulating about supernatural beings that looked like Lilith. These creatures were known for their scary appearance at night. Although not specifically referred to as Lilith, they bore a close resemblance. An ancient king then even recorded such accounts in his diary. It was an account of a female demon named Lilith. She exhibited traits of both a vampire and a powerful monster, moving about the night and even giving birth to special offspring. Now, these Lilith-like beings weren't just strange breeds. They showed up in different shapes and sizes, all scattered around, both in our world and the underworld. Now, let's talk about what happened next. Adam was helpless and lonely. After waiting so long for Lilith to return, he did what anyone would do in that situation. He prayed to God again. It was in response to his prayers that God uttered the statement, "It is not good for man to live alone." God answered his prayers by creating Eve. You know the rest of the story, the whole rib thing. But here's where it gets juicy. Some versions of the story say that Lilith couldn't stand seeing Adam and Eve all lovey-dovey, and she got seriously jealous. So she cooked up a plan for revenge. She shapeshifted into a sneaky serpent and pulled a fast one on Eve, getting her to eat the forbidden fruit. You know the rest. Adam and Eve got sent out of the Garden of Eden. That was the exact story we have in the old Jewish account. So how can we confirm if this is true? One thing is for sure, she truly existed. Aside from the fact that she was mentioned in the book of Isaiah as a she-demon, let's dig deeper into the meaning of her name. The meaning of Lilith is a bit bizarre. According to the Jewish record, Lilith originates from the Sumerian word Lilito, which means female demons and vampires. But why was her story wiped from the Bible? Some people inherently believed that the Bible also accounts for the creation of Lilith, but her name was left out because of all the evil associated with it. They claimed there are 2 creation stories in Genesis. One is about Lilith, created in Genesis 1, and the other is about Eve, made in Genesis 2. Still, in an attempt to demystify the origin of the story of Lilith, psychologists observed a strange trait, which is keeping dark secrets, right from Genesis 1 to every man on earth now. The first man did the same thing by trying to hide himself and his little secret from God after eating the forbidden fruit with his wife. What could have prompted Adam to act and speak that way? Mind you, it wasn't Eve who responded to God, but Adam. Could it be that he did what he saw God do? Who knows? Cain, the second man, displayed a similar behavior when he denied he knew anything about his brother Abel's whereabouts after murdering him. I can go on and on. Even now, we all try to keep our dark secrets by hiding from God. Or is that not true? We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the mysterious myth about Lilith and all her woes. If you found this exploration as fascinating as we did, don't forget to show some love by subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up to stay tuned for more captivating discussions on biblical mysteries and a whole lot more. See you next time.